Are you torn between Lafayette, Broussard, or Youngsville? Well, these three cities each offer something unique, but which one is truly the best fit for you? Well, in this video, we'll dive into what makes each city stand out, from the cost of living, the amenities to the lifestyle, the community vibes that they give. Whether you're looking for a vibrant downtown scene, a quiet or suburban feel, or a family-friendly atmosphere, we're gonna get all the details so we can help you make the best decision for you. So, I'm Drake, if you guys do not know me, and I'm your real estate agent here in Lafayette, Louisiana, but let's get right into it. So let's talk about first all of the details of Lafayette. What are everything you need to know about that city? Well, first, let's talk about the commuting and the transportation. Now, most of our highways, our major highways are I-10, which we know goes from west to east all the way through, which we also have I-49 and US 90. Those really split it going from north to south, and they kind of angle slightly, taking you southward toward things like Morgan City, New Iberia. But that highway is really what can give you access to the northern part of the state or the deep southern part of the state. But we do have public transit, which is also available. You have Lafayette Transit, such as LTS. That gives you really the bus systems that we have. Of course, there's Uber and Lyft, which is available, or taxi cabs. So that's your normal ways of really traveling throughout the area. Commute times to downtown, our major job centers, typically take anywhere from about 10 to 20 minutes, depending where you are. And of course, the time of day can really change between traffic. Speaking of traffic, well, what are the heavy peak hours? Well, of course, we have 7 to 9 a.m. really when you're going to find the most traffic coming into the city. And then of course, 4 to 6 p.m. is where you're going to find other heavy traffic that's going to happen where people are going out of the city. So just be aware there will be traffic on those times, but of course it's manageable. Now, notable landmarks for Lafayette area. What are they known for? Well, we have the Vermilion River, which slices right through town. It's pretty to look at, I would say. The water's not so pretty, but the homes that are along it, the trees, all those things are really nice. The Atchafalaya Basin is nearby. It's not very far, and it really is famous being one of the largest swamps in the world. And it really has beautiful sunsets and such beautiful scenery, animals, different things that you can see. Definitely recommend taking a swamp tour. So now, what about the population and the demographics? Well, currently we're populated around 120,000 residents. We're talking about Lafayette City proper. And other key demographics of the population, just so you know that how diverse it is. Well, the median age is about 34 years old. The household income is on average about $50,000, and the average family size is about 3 people. Now, Lafayette is pretty diverse. It's a blend of really Cajun, you have Creole people, and African American cultures. Now, the population has been slowly growing over the past few years, so we know that it is a city that is growing and trending. But Lafayette, as far as the community goes, it's warm, it's friendly. You're going to get a southern vibe. You are going to feel that southern hospitality with a mixture of really some traditional family values and of course modern influences. Of course, the safety and the community is always something that people wonder about. So what's the crime rate? Well, the crime rates are higher than the national average. There are certainly areas that are safer than others. You have neighborhoods such as River Ranch, you have Broadmoor, there's Youngsville. Those are all considered by standard, if you look it up online, or if you just call the local police stations, considered safer areas of Lafayette where there's not as much crime that happens. Now, community involvement, the residents are very active in local events. There's festivals that's always going on. They get involved with local government, and Lafayette really has some vibrant culture, I would say, with festivals. Now, the community programs that they have are recreational sports leagues. We have public library services that are available, and there's various cultural events that you can get into. The art scene is very, very big around the Lafayette area. You may wonder about the education system. Our public schools are really rated average when you compare it to the national average. So there are some high schools who do have more high performing, such as Lafayette High. But of course, a lot of people will look at options such as charter or private schools. There are some notable private schools, including Ascension Episcopal School and also St. Thomas More. Those are really popular schools in our area. Educational resources that are available, well, schools that offer a variety of extracurricular activities such as sports, there's arts, there's the STEM programs, STEM programs is what they call it. Of course, we have colleges. You have the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, and it is a significant local institution. It is a college that is well renowned around the country, and a lot of people seek it out in this area. But the overall sentiment that you can have for our educational system, well, parents generally feel positive about the public school system, but of course private options are always valued by people, so if you can afford it, that might be a better option for you if you're looking for something above standard or average. Now, the housing market, the median house costs around $250, $255 is what we're really seeing around the Lafayette city. Compared to most nearby cities, the home prices are lower, which is pretty surprising for being a big city, but when you compare it to places like Baton Rouge or New Orleans, you can find that the cost is much better. The average rent for a 2-bedroom apartment is approximately about $1,000, and there is a good mix of what I would say single family homes. You have townhouses, there are apartments available, so you really are not just stuck with certain types of homes. Popular neighborhoods that we would say in the Lafayette area, well, there's Greenbrier Estates, there's River Ranch, there's places like Walker's Lake, there is Audubon Plantation if you're looking for the luxury area. Broadmoor is another very popular one. There's Boulder Creek, there's Mill Creek. There's really quite a few different options that you can find. It just really depends on your price range and what you're really looking for and what part of town you really want to be closest to. We have a shopping mall, the local Acadiana Mall, there's local boutiques, we have a vibrant food scene. Lafayette is really known the most as our unique attractions being Festival International. Of course, there's Mardi Gras. People love Mardi Gras. There's attractions such as Vermilionville, which would expose you more to our Cajun culture and heritage, what life was like back when, before Lafayette was a major city. Healthcare accessibility in the city. We have several hospitals. Of course, the ones that everyone are familiar with are Ochsner, Lafayette General, and Our Lady of Lourdes. There are two major healthcare providers here in the area. Lafayette does offer a mix of cultural experiences. You can find anything from fishing to hunting to swamp tours, and of course all the local parks that are available and what events happen there. One notable one would be, of course, Munkus Park. There's always farmers markets and different things that you can find in those areas that are really fun. Major employers include UL of Lafayette being a big one, and also the Lafayette General Health System. Those are really major employers for this area. Now, the job market is stable overall. There's plenty of opportunities, especially if you're looking for something that's in healthcare, education, and even technology. The oil field, oil and gas, of course, and manufacturing is also a part of what we have here. Now, the salaries and the cost of living, they're really slightly below the national average, but the cost of living is also lower. So that really does make it appealing for some people, that even though our average salaries can be low and what you'll get paid may be lower, but at the same time, you're not having to cough up as much money to be able to live here as some other places. Our residents, really, we can say the overall feel is that they're very optimistic about the economic prospects that we have, and of course the growing opportunities that we're seeing within the tech and health industry. It's really exciting. There's a big future ahead, I think, for Lafayette as it continues to grow. And so, overall, maybe it's a right fit for you, but maybe it's not Lafayette. Maybe your next option is Broussard. Well, so let's talk about Broussard. I'm going to go through all the same points. So Broussard, major highways that it has is really just US 90, future I-49 corridor, which connects to Lafayette and New Orleans. So no significant public train system or transit system really for that area just yet. It's still in development, still pretty rural for the most part. Maybe in the next few years we'll see more buses and things of that nature, but right now not really any public transit to speak of. Now, the commute time, commuting to Lafayette usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes if you're trying to get to Lafayette. It doesn't take long to get to the interstate. If you're trying to get to I-10 to get out of the area, you would just take 90, and in about 15, 20 minutes, depending on traffic, you can get out of there and be on your way to wherever you're trying to get. Traffic can be generally light in the most area. There's some minor congestion during the peak hours, of course, morning and late afternoon. And then, of course, any notable landmarks people are always curious about. Well, the Zooziana, that is our zoo for the area. It's a cool little experience. It's not a major zoo, but it has some very cool animals and might be something for you and the family to check out. And of course, the Atchafalaya Basin, not being far from Broussard, it's actually closer. It's a great place. There's places like Lake Martin that are not far, where you can do some great fishing or just even some sightseeing, hanging out on the water. So definitely one to check out. Now, the current population of Broussard, we're talking Broussard proper, not the extended area, but about 15,000 residents is where they say. Now, the population is younger with the median age of around 35, and the median household income is higher than Lafayette. It's about 70,000. Family size being typically between 3 and 4 people. Ethnic diversity, well, it is predominantly Caucasian with a growing African American and Hispanic population. So So that is something to keep in mind. The population trends for Broussard has been experiencing population growth due to the suburban expansion. There's been lots of subdivisions and growth that's been happening in that area because of all the businesses all along that US 90 corridor. So good school systems, all those things are starting to attract more and more people to that area. It is a small town feel. You will get that close-knit kind of family-oriented atmosphere. You can definitely expect that. Now, safety and community involvement. The crime rate is actually lower than the state and national averages. So that is a plus about Broussard. Broussard, you could say most people consider it genuinely safe, especially in newer developments like Sugar Mill Pond. And you also have La Triomphe, which is a gated neighborhood. It is on a golf course. It is one of those that comes with a luxury price tag, but if you can afford it, it's a wonderful subdivision to check out. But of course, if you're looking for something more affordable, there are lots of affordable options. You have DSLD and DR Horton, which are constantly building new construction neighborhoods in the area with homes that are still in the $200,000 price range and that make it very affordable. Residents are active with local events, especially family-friendly festivals. There's different parades that they have, especially for Mardi Gras. And then there's different programs. You of course have, there are some city parks that are available, and there's also different family services. Broussard does have a strong community vibe, and there definitely, I would say, is a focus on family and local environment. Now let's talk about the education system. The public school ratings, well, the schools in Broussard are really part of the Lafayette Parish school system, and they are rated above with schools like Broussard Middle School. Now, of course, there are private charter schools which are also available. You can find private schools such as Ascension Episcopal or Our Lady of Fatima is also another option if that is really something you're interested in. The nearby colleges that are available, of course, University of Louisiana at Lafayette is really the closest university, and from Broussard you can say it's about 15 to 20 minutes to get there. Now, the education system, the overall, well, families, we could say, really do feel positive about the school systems. What about the housing market? The median home prices for that area? Well, the median home prices is around $290,000 in Broussard. Now, we compare it to other cities in the area. Broussard is slightly more affordable than nearby Lafayette with more suburban developments that are happening. The average rent for the 2-bedroom apartment is around $1,200, going all the way down to about $1,000, just depending on where you're looking. And then, of course, the variety of houses. There's townhouses that are available and a mix of family homes. You have pretty much everything. Some other popular neighborhoods that would be located in the Broussard area, there are also places like Copper Meadows, there's also Sable Palms, and you have Les Jardins. So quite a few options. There's much more budget-friendly areas as well. You can surely find whatever really you're looking for, but of course, having someone like me to help you, I can help direct you to exactly what you want. Now, Broussard does have local restaurants. You have grocery stores. It's a short drive to really all of the retail centers of Lafayette, which is not far, but you definitely have quite a few things that are great in that area. Other outdoor activities would be there's St. Julian Park. There they have playgrounds, there's sports fields, there's walking paths, and then of course you also have healthcare facilities that are available. Abshire, Lafayette General, of course, that one's probably your farther drive. The closer one would be Our Lady of Lourdes. That one really only being probably about 10 minutes from Broussard, so that is appealing that you're close by for that one. Now the lifestyle, Broussard offers a peaceful suburban lifestyle, I would say. You have access to family-friendly amenities, all within a very close proximity to Lafayette. So I'd really say that would be the appeal. The economy for the jobs, well, key industries would include oil and gas for that area. There is agriculture, and there's also manufacturing that is very popular. Now, employers include places like Baker Hughes, and there's also lots of local industries that are tied to a lot of energy services that are very popular. Overall, the job market is stable. There is opportunities, especially in the oil field services and also different types of local businesses. Now, the salaries are really comparable, you can say, to the regional average, and the cost of living is moderate compared to the rest of the country. Now, residents do feel positive about Broussard's growth with the new housing developments, the businesses that are happening, and the economic development, very exciting projects that are coming aboard. Broussard really seems to be one of those hot happening spots, and it might be the fit for you. But last but not least, let's talk about Youngsville. Youngsville, very popular in Louisiana, another very exciting one. Let's talk about its transit. The highways include LA 92, LA 89, and access to US 90 is not far, but there's no really public transit in Youngsville, so be aware of that. Commuting to Lafayette takes about 15 to 20 minutes depending on traffic. You might set at some roundabouts that have some traffic at high peak hours, but generally you can say the traffic around there is pretty light, just congested. Notable landmarks that it's really known for is being close proximity to Lafayette. really, and also all the new construction and how everything is pretty manicured for the area, but is also very well known for it is Youngsville Sports Complex. It is a massive acres and acres of facility, ever expanding, that has pickleball and tennis and volleyball and all kinds of sports that happen there. So it's a lot of fun for the whole family, and if you're a resident, it's absolutely free to hang out and play there. So it's definitely one that's very exciting and has a huge draw for a lot of people. Approximately about 16,000 residents live in Youngsville, so a little bit larger than Broussard. The population is younger, it's more affluent, and it does have a median age of around 34 years and a median household income of being around $90,000. People in that area tend to make a bit more money. Now, predominantly it's Caucasian with a small but growing Hispanic and also African American population, as well as an Indian population that is growing also in the area. An interesting trend is the fact that Youngsville is one of the fastest growing cities in Louisiana. I can say overall that they have a very good government. Now, what is the safety and the crime involvement? Well, the crime rate in Youngsville is actually lower than both the state and the national averages, which is wonderful. The entire city is generally considered safe, with popular areas like Copper Meadows and Sugar Mill Pond being ones that people really enjoy. Residents are very active in community events. They love sports. They love local festivals. You can really describe it as being friendly. There's close-knit and welcoming, and a very strong focus on family and community activities. The schools are rated, and they're really within the Lafayette Parish school system, but they are actually above average ratings. So schools like Southside High are really well regarded, and it is one that can be a bit tough to get into because they are bursting at the seams. It's been a very popular school. It's a newer school, and so a lot of people really love it. Now, of course, there's nearby schools such as Ascension Episcopal, there's Our Lady of Fatima, which are also very popular private and charter schools in the area. Now, schools can range from different extracurriculars. There's athletics, there's art programs, academic clubs that they can get involved in. So again, lots and lots of opportunities for your kids. And the University of Louisiana at Lafayette is only about 20 minutes away, so it's not too far. I wouldn't say it's the most ideal place to live if you're wanting to have to go to school at UL of Lafayette, but some people think it's worth the drive. Parents generally feel positive about the education options and many new families that are moving to the area for the school districts specifically. So now the median price for homes in that area is around $320,000, give or take. The prices are slightly higher compared to Lafayette due to there being so many new developments in the area. The average rent for a 2-bedroom apartment is about $1,300, which is more than we know Lafayette and Broussard. And again, it is because a lot of those apartment complexes there are new. Lots of cool amenities that are all available, but overall the popular neighborhoods, you can think of Sugar Mill Pond, there's Copper Meadows, there's Highland Ridge. Those are all desirable due to the amenities, the safety, the family friendliness that you'll find in those areas. Outdoor activities, of course, there's parks, there's playgrounds, there's sports leagues, which are abundant, especially when you go to places like St. Julian Park or Youngsville Sports Complex. So the residents, I would say, primarily just focus on actually using healthcare services such as Lafayette General and Our Lady of Lourdes, which are not too far away, about maybe 10 to 20 minutes. And then, of course, there's always urgent cares that are located all around the area, so you don't just have to go to those places, but you have also the opportunity to get a quick urgent care in and out if that's what you're looking for. The lifestyle appeal overall for Youngsville is peaceful. It's a suburban lifestyle with a strong community focus. It's really ideal for families, but of course there's single people and there's, you know, all different types that live there. What are the economy and the jobs like? Well, Youngsville is primarily residential with some job opportunities really in Lafayette. Local businesses and retail are growing in the area, but I would say for the most part, many residents just commute to Lafayette because that's really where most of the job opportunities are, or even just to Broussard, which Broussard is right next door. It's a very easy drive if that's where you're working. But the job market, I would say, is really going to those areas for the healthcare, oil and gas, and education. That's where you're going to find those abundant careers. Lots of careers even in construction. Maybe that can be part of what I would say a career you can find in Youngsville. The cost of living and the salaries of the area, well, the salaries are pretty competitive with the rest of the region, and the cost of living, we would say, is a bit higher because of the newer housing developments that are there. It always will come with a price tag. The ongoing residential and commercial development projects, they really contribute to a lot of the local growth and we're seeing. So people feel very optimistic about Youngsville's future. They're seeing it continue to grow with its infrastructure and, of course, increasing desirability for it to be the perfect suburban community. So really and truly, I laid out so many options and so many things here for you about each one, but the perfect choice really depends on your unique lifestyle, your financial goals, your personal preferences. So if you're considering to move to Lafayette or any of these nearby cities, check out my other videos and don't hesitate to reach out to to me if you have any questions. You know, I'm love to help you guys, and I'm happy to help. So if you're thinking of buying or selling a home here in Lafayette or the surrounding areas, and you want to see if it's the right fit for you, give me a call, shoot me a text. I am always available to help you. I would love to help you find your perfect home, or just be your local resource if you have questions about places, where to eat, things of that nature. But thanks so much for tuning in, guys, and I'll catch y'all in next week's video.